Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to do a video of people pretty much their reaction to all this unity between redheads and so-called black Americans that been going on. I did a reaction earlier this week to it, and got different responses. Someone commented on my video basically saying, like, you know they're replacing, what is it, gingers with blacks and movies. I don't know nothing about that. I don't. Y'all got to take that up with Hollywood. I know that the so-called Black Americans that are that are that are making movies, that are directors, are like the movie Sinners, are representing the Irish and different people very well. But I got to take up the other stuff with Hollywood. But with that being said, we're gonna get into this and see how people been reacting to this. So with that being said, we're smoking on my dragons, divine righteous almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. Shout out my redhead dragons. Let's get to it.
The past 24 hours has been one of the most enlightening, healing, positive 24 hours of my life. The black community really took in us gingers. We're like, we got you. And they gave us a big bear hug and said, you're going to heal things you didn't know you needed to heal. And I couldn't be more appreciative. Like, from the bottom of my heart, everyone that left comments.
Hold on, there's something she said she said they took us in and said you're gonna heal things you didn't know you needed to heal. That's deep, that's powerful, and I believe that's needed.
I couldn't be more appreciative to heal.
That's needed in the collective right now.
24 hours of my life. The black community really took in us gingers. We're like, we got you. And they gave us a big bear hug and said, you're going to heal things you didn't know you needed to heal. And I couldn't be more appreciative. Like, from the bottom of my heart, everyone that left comments, like, I tried to reply to all of them. From the bottom of my heart, it means the world to me. Here's my thing. I study politics. I study racial disparity. I study, gender and social justice and what that looks like within law and like, government. That's my area of, like, knowledge. So, this is a two-way street. The black community has taken gingers, adopted us, and loved us unconditionally now. Now it's our turn to love back. And I think we are in a very unique... hold on. This is not unique. What is happening right now, the racial disparities, that's not unique. That's always been happening. Let me preface that. But we are in a unique position with this, black community, ginger community coalescence, this mixture, that we can now use that. We can use that collective, mobilize from that collective, and now it's our turn to get you. You know what I mean? You loved us, let me show you love. I got you, I support you, like, ride or die type shit. You feel me? Like, we got an opportunity here. And I know everyone's being evasive about the culture shit, but man, everything is political. Everything. I'm sure if the president had stubbed his pinky toe too hard and it was slightly off-white, he'd deport it. So, we have a really unique opportunity right now with this media thing going on to mobilize that. And I wanted to kind of let everyone know that, like, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so appreciative and that I got you. And I actively try to, whether it's me doing my research thesis or my, doing my research on my grants, I promise I always try to include your lived experience. And if you have any other suggestions on how the ginger community can be of service, because you guys have done so much for us in the past few days, we are going to, create a safe space for that. Alright? Don't fuck with the fucking bullshit. So basically...
Okay, so first off, the first comment I see that I gotta agree with, they said all we ask is to bring your genuine self. Just be authentic as possible. You don't gotta come with the slang or none of that, or try to speak ebonics, like, just be your authentic self. And that's the best thing anybody can ask for when it comes to people. Like, just be you, be who you are, and we're going to appreciate you for that. Everything she was talking about, I agree with it. Mobilize and come together in unity, and whoever don't like it, then forget them, because this is what's needed right now. I mean, it started with a joke. It started with, but people are really realizing, hey, we're cooler if we're together. You know, if there's unity, if we're not hating on each other. You know, there's people out there that would rather see people at war. There's people out there that look at me as a threat. There's people out there that look at every so-called white person and think, man, that's a threat, or they're prejudiced, they're racist, or whatever, and that's not true. I actually said something to some girl the other day, about 2 weeks ago. She had made a comment to someone, and because this girl was like, after watching Sinners, it makes me question my history or something like that, like, or it makes me sad that I don't know my history. And someone commented and said, your history, basically said her history was like being a just being racist or whatever. So I commented back. I said, "How do you not know? Like, she's not. What if she was?" I said, "What if she was Russian? Right? Let's just say, what if she was Russian? Um, during the the transatlantic slave trade, Russians was going through serfdom. They had they was going through it. They had books. They have a book comparing the struggles. I said, what if her family? She's Russian. Her family was going through that. And let's say they didn't get here till the 70s, 80s, or or even after Jim Crow, and they went through their they never had parts and all that. This person never wrote me back, so I knew I hit somewhere that they couldn't answer. It's like my message to the so-called black community is not everybody who looks like us is us, and not everybody who doesn't look like us is against us. The prejudice stuff gotta stop. The judging people and putting people all in one box gotta stop. Yeah, see, I keep it real fair. I'm talking to the people that look like me now. Gotta stop with the prejudice stuff, and I know it get hard because I feel like we under scrutiny a lot. I feel like we criticize a lot, and it make you just be like, damn, we everybody against us, but that's not the truth. Because even when you look at during the Jim Crow days, even Russians was they was accepting in the so-called Black American and treating them better than Americans was at the time. That's a fact. Even had statues of them and all that. Let the musicians come in and get respect there that they couldn't get in America. So we just got to know history and realize that we've been divided a lot for a reason, right? Go off the energy. Well, I think this the same girl.
As someone who has grown up hearing fire crotch or does the carpet match the drapes or people just over sexualizing redheads to the nth fucking degree, or being made fun of for being practically reflective, this is the most validating shit on planet Earth. I've never felt so seen. I've never felt so appreciated. I'm like, Pookie, please. Oh my god, stop. I'm blushing over here. What the fuck?
Yo.
This is great.
You could tell.
As someone who
You could tell she one of them people that could possibly be doing stand-up comedy. I think I may see that in her future. All jokes aside, she definitely is a very comical person, and that's one thing I noticed about her.
I have never met a black man who has made me feel insecure or less than for having curves, but I can think of plenty of white men who have made me feel less lovely.
I'm gonna have to get off that because I don't want to do no race baiting, and I don't want to put nobody down. You know what I'm saying? In order to make a point, that's not what I'm about. Because you can always find anybody at any complexion or any that can make people feel bad. So the videos that are like, oh, I've never had a black man treat me like that, I gotta be honest. I think they might be doing it for the likes and views because there's plenty of people who are scumbags. I'm just gonna straight up say it, of any race. Of it doesn't matter. When we're talking a human race, scumbags everywhere. They come in all colors and races. So I'm not gonna sit here and judge people and violate in that type of way. I think that's pretty whack. Let's see what this guy. He looked like he about to say. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Are you ready for this? Oh shit! Oh shit! Gingers is up this week. If you are a ginger, if you are a redhead, you are up this week. This is your week to shine. 100%.
Apparently, there's something trending on TikTok called Black Gingers. It's got some of y'all going crazy right now.
Gingers, don't you dare mess this up for our community. We finally are getting the acceptance and the love that we deserve from other communities. Black people have accepted us into their welcoming arms. We cannot mess this up.
So as a ginger who's been black for all of 5 minutes, that doesn't even sound right. You've been sending me all these videos talking about how gingers are black now. I'm not really sure where it came from or why this is blowing up or why this is a thing. But as a newly appointed black queen, why did that feel so much cooler to say?
What happens to the ones who have been black and ginger all their lives? What about us? Everybody's so excited. All these people are so excited that y'all done called them black. But baby, black gingers, we exist.
Y'all ever wonder why those gingers got that melanin kind of tint to their skin tone? That curly hair, right? And some of them with some thick lips. Now, we know that all the patriarchs throughout the Bible, just majority of them, y'all, majority of them were melanated individuals, man. That's right. They were my skin tone. These so-called black gingers have been around for centuries, y'all. Genesis 25:25 will explain it all. Now, he first come out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now, ask yourself, who comes out red all over? Most individuals who are who are European are going to come out pale white, but Esau came out red all over with hair like
Red all over. I don't want to sound dumb, but I mean I would think blood, like a baby come. I don't know. That's what I would think. That's just my first. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to be wrong. I'm not trying to, but that's automatically what I think. He came out red all over. I would think he'd be covered in blood from the, I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
Whoa, that means it was curly, y'all. That red all over wasn't pale, y'all. It was copper, ruddy. It was brick tone. Esau's was Jacob's twin brother. Same womb. Now you telling me that one of them is black and the other one is what? Is European? Nah, man. Both of them had the blessing of melanin. Could that mean it was the gingers that they were describing in the scriptures? See how far people going with this? They going deep with this, and I'm not trying to knock nobody, but and that's not to talk down, but yeah, people taking this. Listen, I just want to see unity. That's. Fuck the mother nigga, I'ma ride for my motherfucking nigga. Like I'ma die with my finger. Listen, this is wild. This is wild out here. This is wild.
Listen, I'm 41, and it's all starting to make sense now. But some of y'all already knew.
I say, nigga, I'm from the dirty south. With closed mouth, don't get fed. The wish a nigga would say put money on your head. Hey, got his arm out, he showing money spread.
I gotta be honest, I genuinely don't be liking the music, rap music like that no more. Seriously, coming from a big rap fan who grew up off of rap music, I just feel like this is another discussion, but it's just like toxic, it just be toxic. Music be too toxic. It'd be ridiculous. Like when you really listen to the lyrics and you sit back and you be like, it just, people really take them lyrics seriously, That's something I would love to see change in the world. Is people just, especially in rap, just change the lyrics, bro. Like it's
shit. Just two black men on the job. Two black men on the job. You know what's going on. Shit. Just two black men on the job.
Now I know this all might seem goofy and all this stuff might seem funny, but it may be a step in the right direction. It may be a step in the right direction, if you get what I mean. It may start with a joke, and then people might really start looking at each other as a reflection, and that unity, they start building in relationships, and before you know it, it's a different type of unity. People start looking in history, realizing
I like the way you do that right there, right there. Switch it when you walk and let down your hair, down your hair. I like the way you do that right there, right there. Let it live when you talk and let me concern. She be stopping
No. Oh man. Now go ahead and give her like 100,000 views right there. How much she got? How much views she got on there? I think she only got like 12,000 views. Or she need more views on there. She's hilarious. But hopefully this is a step in the right direction. Like hopefully people it goes from a joke to people sharing heartwarming messages, which I'm seeing, to people just actually just kind of realizing that they shared similar struggles, and hopefully it spreads. Hopefully more people start getting on board. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm black or anything like that, but maybe the message turns into we all need to have each other's back. Take away all the extra stuff, take away the arguing and all the commenting on it, because someone commented and said to me when they said, oh, they're changing all, have you noticed they're changing all the gingers to black and movies, and I noticed that with Annie. I didn't like that. Let me just first and foremost say, if there's a character that has always been so-called, or say so-called white, right? Let's just say German or a certain complexion, and they're like a character that's been a timeless character, right? That we all love. I don't believe in changing the complexion or the ethnicity or the race of that character at all. I don't like that. I'm a big fan of the original Annie, because I just loved how it was a song. It was a story for the hopeless, for the outcast, for the people that feel like they have no hope. And she kept strong. I love that. That's one of my top 5 movies. And I didn't like when they changed her to a so-called black girl. I didn't like that. I personally, I don't like when they do that. I don't want to see James Bond with dark skin. You know what I mean? I just create a new character. Just create a new character. The same way I wouldn't want to see Static Shock as someone of another like once you got like these timeless characters that were created a certain way, just don't touch it. Don't you know what I'm saying? I'm at the point where I don't even like sampled songs anymore. Just keep it what it was. But as far as some type of agenda with that, that's something y'all have to take up with Hollywood. What I do know is Ryan Coogler just dropped a smash called Sinners, right? A so-called Black American director dropped a smash called Sinners, and he showed the Irish culture, through at least half Irish man who knew how to hit them the river dancing, and spoke truth that made people do research and really look up what happened in Ireland with people getting their land stolen, and he didn't switch the color or do anything. No, he kept it genuine, and people loved it. The Rocky Road Mountain Road song, like it was just so much to it that he did. He made sure that he got somebody who was Irish, and I respect that. That I do know. So I can't speak for what else Hollywood's doing. Hollywood's done a lot of things that's you know what I'm saying? Like I can't speak on what's going on as far as the other stuff, but I do agree. I will say this to that person that commented. I do agree. Keep characters the same. If I see a character, as someone who's a creator myself, as an author myself, has wrote books. If someone has red hair, if someone has freaking blue hair, if someone has green skin, do not change that. There's no point. Just be original and cast something new, but do not change timeless classics. Leave those alone. Please leave those alone. We love our classics, all right?
Hey guys, it's Red Velvet. I love that name now. My TikTok name instead of Edge, my real name. But it's gonna sound cliche, but I just want to thank everybody for blowing that TikTok up. Because first of all, I've been making TikToks for like 3 years and nothing has happened like that to me. And I just thought it was insane that it was that TikTok, because I put no effort into that TikTok, like at all. I saw the TikTok where the lady goes, "Gingers are black people." Literally, not even 15 seconds later, I made that TikTok because it's pure enjoyment. You can ask my he was laying in the bed. He's the one I was putting my eyes at too. Like I was just so confused on out of all TikToks why it was that TikTok. But I've been trying to make a TikTok blow up for the longest time. Like I've had buddies text me. Shout out JJ. My buddy JJ texted me. He was proud of me. Over the 3 years of me posting.
His audio going out, so I'm gonna stop it there. But someone said the most famous brother on TikTok. This is listen. It's better than the race baiting. You know, it's better than the race baiting. There'd be a lot of race baiting. There'd be a lot of, people. That's tired, and people are finally starting to have fun, right? With race, people are finally starting to just have fun with it, and then the ones that are taking it serious get a grip. Those are the people that want drama. You shouldn't feel threatened. You should not feel threatened by this.
I went through years of torment. Hear me out. Here are my qualifications, okay? Because I grew up in a very, very small town with a diversity of fucking Wonder Bread. My dad, very conservative rural small town, is a very loud advocate for social justice, human rights, and, just not being a twat, basically. Because I'm agree to disagree on certain shit, but I'm not gonna agree to disagree on racism. This ain't just politics at this point. You know what I mean? So, I remember very vividly growing up having to have my artwork put behind glass because kids kept trying to defile it. I remember being called vile slurs in the hallways. I remember being shoved into lockers. I remember having kids dump tea in my bag.
Damn.
Or being talked about behind my back, or being told that I was too much. Go find less. The fuck? Or being told that I'm just a feminazi, or that I'm just, all of these things. I'm here to stand on business. And I went through years of bullshit. So when I tell you that this is my genuine self from the bottom of my fucking soul, I mean that shit. I've dedicated so much time just trying to learn as much as I can and trying to be as big of a person as I can within the spaces I'm in, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And I promise you, I'm not here to fuck around.
Someone said, I honestly didn't know redheads were getting picked on like that. I've always thought people with red hair and fair skin are some of the most beautiful individuals on the planet. Same, I agree. They're very beautiful, very beautiful. Just want to say from the heart, redheads are loved and appreciated. As a black person, we see your beauty and you're truly special. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. And if you don't like that, if you can't see the bigger picture other than the petty stuff that, they'd like us, and when I say they, as far as whatever forces in this world that don't want to see unity, hey, if that's what you're about division, then this will piss you off. But if you can see the big picture truly and see how sometimes a joke or something that's, wasn't supposed to be taken serious, sometimes that could turn into a movement. Sometimes through laughter, that's what could wake people up and people realize, like, you know what? We could be cool. We should stick together, and that's scary for the I didn't even know my hair was looking crazy, but that's scary for any forces that want to see division. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, it's hot in this room still. I'm gonna get an AC in here, man. I'm always sweating bullets, and I know y'all be seeing me on here just. Damn, but I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Listen, much love to all y'all, whether you got red hair, black hair, brown hair, hair like me, thin hair, thick hair, whatever you got. If you got love for me, I got love for you. And I will see you all soon. Much love.